Let us journey back in time, not just a few centuries, but tens of thousands of years. The air is different here, cleaner, yet filled with the unfamiliar sense of a world untouched by modern hands. We stand on the edge of a landmass that would one day be called Australia. Today, on August 27, 2025, we can only imagine this. But back then, it was a living, breathing reality. The sea levels were much lower, connecting lands now separated by water. The first people arrived on these shores not as lost wanderers, but as skilled mariners and explorers. They had crossed the sea on rafts or canoes, a feat of incredible bravery and knowledge, stepping onto a continent that was truly a new world. Their first steps were on a land that was both beautiful and daunting. Vast floodplains stretched out before them, teeming with life. Forests of giant eucalyptus trees towered towards the sky, their leaves whispering secrets on the wind. The coastline was a rich pantry, offering shellfish, fish, and seabirds. These early communities did not just survive, they observed and learned with incredible speed. They understood the rhythms of the tides, the patterns of the seasons, and the habits of the animals that shared this new home. They were scientists of their environment, gathering knowledge that would be passed down through countless generations, forming the foundation of a deep, spiritual connection to country. This ancient world was not empty. It was a megafauna world, a land of giants. Imagine kangaroos that stood taller than a person, wombats the size of a small car, and giant flightless birds that could deliver a powerful kick. This was the landscape the first peoples had to navigate. It was a place of immense danger, but also of great opportunity for those who were clever and brave. Archaeological sites like Majid Bebe in Arnhem Land have given us a glimpse into this distant past. The stone tools and ochre crayons found there, dated to over 65,000 years ago, tell a story of a sophisticated people who were already creating art and complex tools from the moment they arrived. The decision to venture further inland was not made lightly. It required careful planning and a deep understanding of the resources available. Families moved together, their collective knowledge a shield against the unknown. They followed the river systems, the lifeblood of the continent, which acted as natural highways into the interior. Each new landscape presented new challenges and new wonders. From the lush, tropical north to the cooler, temperate south, they adapted and thrived. This was not a simple story of survival. It was the beginning of an epic saga of human ingenuity, resilience, and the birth of the world's oldest living culture, a story etched into the very rock and soil of the land itself. The sun would set, and a brilliant canopy of stars would emerge, a celestial map stretching from horizon to horizon. For the first peoples, this was not just a beautiful sight, it was their guide. They possessed an intricate knowledge of the cosmos, reading the stars to navigate across the vast, featureless plains of the continent. The movements of the emu in the sky, a dark constellation found within the Milky Way, signaled the changing of seasons and the right time for certain ceremonies or for gathering specific foods. This was not mere folklore. It was a precise science, a deep astronomical knowledge that allowed them to travel immense distances with purpose and confidence, ensuring they always knew where they were and where they were going. Life in this prehistoric world meant coexisting with the megafauna. These were not the animals we know today. Giant diprotodons, lumbering herbivores the size of rhinoceroses, roamed the land. Fierce marsupial lions, powerful predators with bone-crushing jaws, stalked the woodlands. Hunting these creatures required immense skill, courage, and teamwork. Hunters would use their deep knowledge of animal behavior to their advantage. They might drive a herd of giant kangaroos towards a cliff or into a cleverly concealed pit trap. These hunts were dangerous, a true test of bravery, but success meant providing an abundance of food for the entire community, strengthening the bonds between them. The environment was in a constant state of flux. Over thousands of years, the climate shifted dramatically. The continent grew drier, and the great inland lakes began to shrink. The first peoples witnessed these changes and adapted with remarkable ingenuity. Paleoecological evidence from ancient pollen preserved in lake sediments shows us how the vegetation changed. As forests receded and grasslands expanded, people adjusted their hunting strategies and their diets. They learned to manage the land with fire, using controlled burns to promote the growth of specific edible plants and to create open country that attracted game. This was active land management, a partnership with nature, not a battle against it. This ability to adapt was the key to their long-term success. When one food source became scarce, they knew of many others to turn to. Their knowledge of the land was encyclopedic. They knew which roots were edible, which nuts needed to be leached of their toxins, and where to find water even in the driest of seasons. This resilience was not just about physical survival, it was about cultural survival. The stories, songs, and laws that governed their societies were flexible enough to incorporate new knowledge and new experiences, ensuring that their culture could bend without breaking, enduring through millennia of profound environmental change. The tools of the first peoples were masterpieces of simplicity and effectiveness, born from a deep understanding of natural materials. They crafted sharp spearheads from stone, using sophisticated knapping techniques to create a deadly point. The woomera, or spear thrower, was a brilliant invention. It acted as an extension of the arm, allowing a hunter to launch a spear with incredible speed and force, making it possible to hunt large animals from a safer distance. This wasn't just a piece of wood. It was an application of physics, a tool that multiplied human strength and dramatically increased their chances of a successful hunt. Each tool was perfectly suited to its purpose and the environment in which it was used. Beyond hunting, their toolkit was incredibly diverse. They fashioned grinding stones to process seeds and grains into flour, a discovery that challenges the old narrative of them being only hunter-gatherers. Archaeologists have found these stones at sites like Cuddy Springs, showing that people were baking bread tens of thousands of years ago. They wove intricate baskets and nets from plant fibers, essential for gathering everything from yams to fish. They carved wooden bowls and shaped animal skins into water carriers and cloaks. This was a technology of sustainability, using everything the land provided and leaving little waste behind, a stark contrast to the disposable cultures of today. Survival was a collective effort, built on the strength of family and community. Protecting the group was the highest priority. Elders held the community's knowledge, the library of generations of experience. They taught the young how to read tracks, how to find medicinal plants, and how to understand the complex rules of kinship that held society together. Children were not just protected, they were educated from a young age, learning through observation and participation. This focus on family and community ensured that vital knowledge was never lost, and that everyone felt a sense of belonging and responsibility to the group. Moments of success were celebrated by all. A successful hunt was not just a meal, it was a reason for the community to come together, to share food, to tell stories, and to perform ceremonies. These were the moments that reinforced their bonds and their shared identity. When a child mastered the use of a small spear, or when a young woman found a new patch of edible yams, these small victories were acknowledged. Life was a balance of struggle and triumph, of hardship and joy. It was this deep sense of community and shared purpose that gave them the resilience to face any challenge the ancient world threw at them. The spiritual life of the first peoples was as rich and complex as the physical world they inhabited. This was the dawn of the dreaming, a profound worldview that connects people, land, and all of creation in a timeless web. The stories of the dreaming are not myths. They are the laws of the land and the spirit. They explain how the mountains, rivers, and stars were formed by ancestral beings. These stories were recorded in stunning galleries of rock art, like those found in the Kimberley region or Kakadu. These paintings, some tens of thousands of years old, are a vibrant record of their beliefs, their history, and their relationship with the animals and spirits of their country. Daily life was interwoven with this spiritual fabric. Every act, from gathering food to crafting a tool, had a spiritual dimension. People saw themselves not as owners of the land, but as its custodians with a sacred duty to care for it. This belief fostered a deep respect for nature and an ethic of sustainability that ensured resources were not depleted. Ceremonies were performed to encourage the seasonal renewal of plants and animals, maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. This was a culture that understood its deep connection to the earth, a connection that was both practical and profoundly spiritual, shaping every aspect of their existence. The beauty of this ancient world was matched only by its challenges. Droughts could last for years, and conflict over scarce resources was a real possibility. Yet through it all, the first peoples endured. Their social structures, built on complex kinship systems, created networks of obligation and support that stretched across vast distances. If one group was facing hardship, another was obliged to help. This system of reciprocity was a form of social insurance, ensuring the survival of the people as a whole, not just individual groups. It was this social technology, as much as their physical tools, that allowed them to flourish on the driest inhabited continent on Earth. Today, the culture of the first peoples of Australia stands as the oldest living culture on the planet. It is a testament to their incredible adaptability, their profound wisdom, and their unbreakable spirit. Their journey through prehistoric Australia was an epic of human endeavor. They navigated by the stars, lived alongside giants, and painted their stories onto the very bones of the continent. Their legacy is not just in the archaeological record, it lives on in the songs, dances, and languages of their descendants. It is a powerful reminder of a deep and enduring connection to country, a story of survival and resilience that continues to this day.